In addition to regular testing, what can you do to protect the quality of your drinking water and your family's health?
The most important thing is to locate your well on your property. Make sure you know where it is and also what kind of well it is. And then look around you and know what kind of land use that might impact your well water quality is. And then you can see what it is that you might be able to do for yourself or to work with your neighbors to improve around your well.
I think a couple of things are important. One is there's a requirement for completed wells that you keep your drainage away from what's called the wellhead, where the top of the well extends to the surface. You don't want to have water pooling around that because it represents a risk to running down near the casing and creating problems in the quality of the water that will come back up your well. So keeping water away from the top of your well is important. Also in the regulations, we do have minimum siting distances to various types of pollution sources, including the components of a septic system, roadways, animal waste areas. People can look at those and make sure their well is hopefully meeting those requirements.
Basically is to just keep it clean and free and clear of anything. You don't want to pile fertilizer or have pets. I've seen pets chained to well casings before, and sometimes that can cause a problem. Any debris, bushes and things, some people have put mulch around there, and some of the mulches have dye in them, and the dye can get into the ground also and cause a problem with the quality of water. Access to the pump. It's mechanical. If anything goes wrong with the pump, the company that comes to fix it is going to need access. Therefore, if there's a lot of things and debris around the well, it might make it difficult. Marking and knowing where your well is very important. In the wintertime, pumps can go. And looking at 3 feet of snow in somebody's backyard, sometimes it's difficult to find out where the well is. So knowing where your well is and having it marked seasonally and cleared out for good access is also good practice.
I think homeowners really need to be thinking about what they do on their own property first that affects potentially groundwater quality. Be very careful and follow the proper instructions on using fertilizers or pesticides. Try not to use those chemicals in the vicinity of your well.
People use all kinds of chemicals in their homes, and you need to be careful about how you're disposing of them. If you have extra chemicals, you need to take them to a household hazardous waste collection day. Try to reduce the amount of chemicals that you're using in your home. Use non-toxic alternatives, because as the water flushes down the drain, it's no magic place that it's going. It's going down into the groundwater, and your septic system simply isn't designed to remove chemicals. So I would recommend reducing the household chemicals, and also if you do change your own oil, bring your oil to a local oil igloo, which you can find at your municipal dump or transfer station. And in that way, you make better use out of it. That oil is used for something positive instead of contaminating your groundwater, because it doesn't take a lot of oil to contaminate millions of gallons of water.
Be aware, if you have a septic system on your property, of not putting things into your septic system that would travel to the groundwater, to protect your groundwater there. Visually go out and inspect your well periodically, and if you see any kind of erosion around the casing, or if the casing is movable or loose, or there's anything that gives you reason to think you don't have good integrity at the top of your well, contact someone to help you deal with that. And also then be cognizant of what's going on on your neighboring properties in terms of protecting your own water supply. Be aware if you're near a gasoline station or a place that might be considered a source of pollution. The best way to make sure you're getting good drinking water from your private well is to also then annually test your water, and we think that's very important.